Hello everyone, and let's check out one more game of Fischer against Gligoric, but this game was one of the 60 memorable chess games of Bobby Fischer. In his famous book, My 60 Memorable Chess Games, Bobby Fischer ranked this game as his 12th memorable chess game, and the title for this game was Castling into It. And why Bobby Fischer gave this title to this game? Let's see. So this game was also played in the Candidates Tournament in 1959. So Bobby Fischer has the black pieces, and Svetozar, Gligoric, has the white pieces. Gligoric starts the game with playing e4, c5, Sicilian defense, knight to f3, d6, d4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes, on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, a6, the Najdorf variation of the Sicilian defense, and Bobby Fischer especially used this opening a lot in his many famous chess games. So anyway, after a6, bishop to g5, e6, f4, bishop to e7 by Bobby Fischer, queen to f3, queen to c7, and Gligoric castled in the queen side, knight from b to d7, g4, b5, bishop takes on f6, g takes on f6 by Bobby Fischer, opening the file. An interesting move by Fischer. He could have captured with the knight, f5 by Gligoric, knight to e5, attacking the queen, queen to h3, and Bobby Fischer castled into it. He castled in this position. Well, there is no pawn on g7, and yet Bobby Fischer castled without having any fear. So we can understand why Bobby Fischer gave this title to this game. So after castling, Gligoric played knight from c to e2, king to h8, knight to f4, rook to g8, rook to g1, d5, f takes on e6, d takes on e4, and knight to d5, attacking the queen, queen to c5, knight takes bishop, queen takes knight, knight to f5, attacking the queen. And in this position, Fischer captured the pawn, queen takes on e6. Well, if capturing the pawn right away, then rook takes on g4. If rook takes rook, then bishop to g4, bishop takes rook, and black is winning. So, knight to f5, attacking the queen, and Fischer captured the pawn, but queen to h6 by Gligoric, and it looks like black's king safety is compromised. Will Bobby Fischer be able to survive after this position? Well, Bobby Fischer played bishop to d7. Of course, bishop to d7 was the most accurate move. After queen to h6, if knight takes on g4, then rook takes knight. If rook takes rook, then rook to d8. One of the only defense is with the rook, then queen to g7 is checkmate. There is no defense, the rook is pinned. So, queen to h6 and bishop to d7 by Bobby Fischer, rook to d6, attacking the queen, and knight takes on g4. Also, Bobby Fischer is attacking the queen. Fischer played rook takes on g4. If rook takes rook, rook takes queen. So queen takes knight, rook takes rook, rook takes on g8, rook takes on f6 by Gligoric, attacking the queen, queen to d5, rook to d6, queen to f5, rook to f6, queen to g5. It looks like Gligoric wanted to have a draw, but Bobby Fischer said no. After queen to g5, that's check. So exchanging the queens, and rook takes on f7, bishop to g4, king to d2, bishop to f3, consolidating the position, king to e3, rook to g1, defending the bishop, rook to e1, king to f4, bishop to d1 by Fischer. It looks like Bobby Fischer is attacking on c2, king to e5, e3, and bishop to f5, attacking the pawn, rook to g1, and after rook to g1, Bobby Fischer captured on h7 with the rook, that's check. Well, king to f6 is not working because of the rook on g1. So let's say e2, rook to f8, that's check, but rook to g8, rook to f7, threatening checkmate, rook to g1. And as you can see, this is a draw. White doesn't have any advantage. So bishop to f5 and rook to g1, defending. Rook takes on h7 by Fischer, king to g8, rook to c7. Well, black has a very dangerous passed pawn. It's very obvious. Bishop to g4. If pushing the pawn, there is only one move left, but king to f6, king to h8, rook to h7, check, king to g8, rook to c7 again, threatening checkmate, rook to c8, king to h8, and repeating the moves. And white doesn't have any advantage, and also this was a draw. If promoting a queen, then rook to c8, and black is getting checkmated, of course. So black has to play king to h8 in order to survive. Rook to c7 and bishop to g4, exchanging the bishops. Rook to c3, attacking the pawn, defending. Rook to e3, rook to g2, defending the pawn, and maybe attacking on h2, king to d4. E-pawn promoted to a queen. Rook takes queen. Rook takes on c2, rook to b1, defending the pawn, king to f7 by Fischer, a3, king to e6, b3, rook takes on h2, finally, capturing the pawn, king to c5, king to d7, king to b6, rook to a2, king takes on a6, rook takes on a3, that's check. Gligoric played king to b7. It looks like a draw. King to d6. After Fischer castled in that position, it looked like it was a very unsafe position for black. But right now, Bobby Fischer is going to survive. It looks like this position is a dead draw. So king to b6, king to d7, b4, rook to h3, rook to c1, rook to h8, and king takes on b5. Well, white has the one extra pawn, but it really doesn't matter. So rook to b8, that's check. King to a4, again check. King to b3, rook to c8, exchanging the rooks. Well, this position is a draw. Gligoric played king to c4, Bobby Fischer played king to b8, and the game ended in a draw. And why this position was a draw? Let me show you the possible continuation. If b5, king to a7, king to c5. And let me show you the other moves faster. So if king to a8, what now? If king to c7, this is settlemate. And if b7, black has to play king to b8. Of course, king to a7 is out of questions. But after king to b8, black is fine. And white has to play a move. Let's say king to b6. That's a settlemate. So after Bobby Fischer played king to b8, the game ended in a draw. Gligoric couldn't manage to defeat Bobby Fischer, and Bobby Fischer managed to survive. Well, this was the 12th memorable chess game of Bobby Fischer. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care, and bye-bye.